Hey everybody, welcome to the Period Yogi. Today we have a class for phase 1 of your cycle, that's menstruation. You don't need much, just a mat and a couple DIY props. I call these my mini rolls, and it's basically just a hand towel folded in half long ways. Give it a tight little roll and then secure it with a couple of rubber bands. Works perfect. So if you want to hit pause, go do that and then come back. I'll meet you on your mat. We're going to start seated. So just come into some kind of comfortable seat. If you like to sit up on a blanket, you can do that. I'm not doing it today. But we'll start with some hip circles. So just bring your hands to your knees and we'll start to circle the rib cage around, forward, other side, and back. So you can be as big or as small with these as you want, fast or slow, but just pay attention to how it all feels. So we'll do a number in one direction and then we'll switch. So we're just starting to create a little bit of motion through the pelvis. And depending on how things are going in your cycle, you might be experiencing some discomfort, some bloating, some cramping, and we're going to keep things pretty mellow. We'll find just a little bit of movement to encourage, some circulation. But overall, pretty low key. All right, let's find our way back to center. We're going to switch the cross in the legs here. Remember the direction you were going, because we're going to go the opposite direction. And you can play with where your hands are too. Just find something that works and that feels good. We're going for feel good today. And you can play with your breath. You might close your eyes. We'll do a few more. And just start to slow that down a little bit as we make our way back to center. Good. All right, let's extend the legs out in front. Just go ahead and release them slow. Bring your hands out behind you. And just take a second to release the knees, maybe wave the feet side to side. Good. Now we're going to use that little mini roll that you created, hopefully. We're going to keep the left leg extended out. We're going to cross, make sure your mini roll is within reach. We'll cross the right leg over, and then you're going to lean back a little bit. You're going to wedge this roll right into your right hip crease. Just kind of wedge it as far in there as you can, and then we'll come forward with the chest, hug that top knee in a bit more. And then from there, we're going to find a little twist to the right. So your left arm's going to come, hug that top knee in. You'll feel some compression happening with the roll, which is good. We're trying to create some compression through the abdomen to encourage, the complete shedding of the uterine lining. And then just find that kind of easy rotation off to the right. And so I would say, come into this twist at like 70%, 80% max. But you just want to find somewhere that you don't have to work too hard. So we'll just get the rotation and then see what you can soften, see what doesn't need to be working to hold the shape. So you might relax that extended leg, you might soften the shoulders away from your ears. You might play with the neck position, whether you're looking over your right shoulder or perhaps off to the side. Well, just feel yourself as you inhale, sort of pressing your belly into that towel, and then as you exhale, sort of receiving the support of it. And we'll take a couple more breaths here. Nice. Let's make our way back through center. Just kind of release everything slowly. Extend your right leg out. Hands behind you. Lean back for a second and just notice what things feel like right side to left. Okay, let's do all that on the other side. So we'll cross left foot over, still leaning back. I'm going to wedge that towel roll. Then I'll sit up a little taller, start to draw the top knee into my chest a bit, wrap the right arm around, rotate to the left. And then I'll find the shape, and then I'm just going to let go of whatever I don't need to hold myself here. So obviously it takes a little bit of effort to hold the shape, but we're using the bare minimum. And so once you kind of land, check in with your breath. Notice what it feels like. Sometimes when you start, if you're new at this sort of compression and release, it can feel a little weird at first, but it's really, really beneficial, especially at this phase in your cycle. Soften the shoulders. Let's take a few more breaths here. Stay nice and easy through the neck. Good, let's make our way back to center. Easy release. Lean back into your hands. Let everything release and expand. Okay, let's bring soles of the feet together. So you can just toss that mini roll off to the side. Soles of the feet together, kind of far out away from the pelvis. We'll call this star pose, right? We're just gonna sit up nice and tall, come forward in this really relaxed fashion, and let your head hang. And we'll take a few breaths here. And feel free, if this feels really intense in the hips, you can always grab these rolls, wedge them up under the outer thighs, and then come forward. All right, we're going to roll ourselves back up and make our way out to our backs. Have your rolls nearby. So just lay on down. We're going to grab one of the mini rolls, extend both legs out long, bring that roll right to the top of your right hip, so right into that hip flexor area there, and then hug your right knee into your chest. So really similar to what we were doing seated, but now we're on our back. So that left leg is just relaxed. And just as before, we're going to use as little effort as we can to hold the shape. And if it feels right, go ahead and close your eyes. We'll take about 5 deep breaths here. See if you can really expand the breath. Sort of press that mini roll away, and then as you exhale, feel it pressing back into you. Okay, let's take one more inhale. Exhale that out and release. Extend your right leg all the way out. Just pause here for a second. Let your arms come out beside you. Close your eyes. Just for a breath or two, really notice right side to left, the sensations. And all this noticing, right, it just kind of helps create awareness so that when you're in your day-to-day life, you're sitting at your desk, you're running around, you'll be able to better tune into the subtleties of what is happening in your body. All right, left side. So get that mini roll, bring it over to the top of the left hip, then hug your left knee into your chest. And you can always modify this too if it feels really intense. You can bring your right foot flat to the floor. So feel free to explore that. Let's just take a few more really full breaths. Smooth in and smooth out. And let's take one more round of breath. Nice. So go ahead and release your left leg out to the ground. Bring that roll off to the floor and just pause here for a second. Bring your hands right to your belly. And close your eyes and notice what things feel like. Okay. We're going to do double that. So grab both rolls. Bring them to the tops, fronts of the hips there. Walk your feet in. Feet are flat. And we're going to get ready to hug the knees into the chest. So just kind of use your hands, keep the rolls in place, bring the knees in, and then hands to the shins, and we'll hug in here. You'll take a couple more breaths. Okay, release that, feet flat to the floor, toss the rolls off to the side, and then we'll take the feet about as wide as the mat and drop both your knees over to the left. Just a nice easy open twist. Now we'll open that area that we were just compressing. Okay, let's take the knees over to the right. Keep the feet nice and wide. And see if you can breathe all the way down into the deepest parts of your belly here. Let everything expand. Good. Let's bring the knees back to center. Bring them into your chest. Give them a little squeeze. And we'll roll off to one side and press ourselves up. Good. All right, there you have it. A quick class for phase 1 of your cycle. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one for phase 2, your follicular phase. Good job, everybody.